Hi guys, Fog Gaming here, welcome to Ray Tracing in Battlefield 5. What you see here is RTX on, and what you see now is RTX off. Well, not really. This is just a card that I destroyed, so it doesn't really reflect anything, but you get the idea. Today I will show you everything that you need to know about this new technology, so let's get started. Ray tracing has been a hot topic in the gaming industry as the future of gaming, and that it would change the experience of gamers for the better. It is a graphics rendering technique that's been in the news a lot recently. Basically, it affects the lighting and reflections in games. The RTX setting controls how many rays are used in the game, so the higher the setting, the more rays that you will see. Basically, RTX changes how objects reflect lights and up to what extent. For example, we are all used to how water reflects stuff, right? But the RTX reflections are not limited to water. Wood, metal, tiles, asphalt and so on will now reflect things like fire and explosions. The biggest downside is that when you turn this technology on, that you're going to get a massive performance drop. But keep in mind that RTX is still in development. All the gameplay that you see in this video has been recorded with RTX on. I used the ultra settings and I used Shadowplay to record everything. In the top left corner you will see the origin overlay that will show you the frames per second. That way you can follow what is going on, and you will also notice the different performance levels on different maps. Try to keep an eye on the reflections on the vehicles, windows and on my weapon. They are the most obvious items that show you what the current implementation of RTX can do in Battlefield 5. There are a few things that you are going to need if you want to experience ray tracing on your own PC. The main thing is an RTX graphics card, and we all know that these things don't come cheap. You will also need the Battlefield 5 GeForce Game Ready driver, version 416.94, the latest Battlefield 5 patch, and you will also have to install the latest window update. The performance numbers that you see in the top left corner were achieved with an RTX 2080 Ti together with an Intel Core i7 6900K in 1440p. If you meet all of these requirements, then you can go ahead and start Battlefield 5. The first thing that you will have to do is to turn on DirectX 12. You can do this by going into the video settings, and then you can go to the advanced tab. Then turn on DXR enabled, and then you can choose the DXR ray trace reflection quality. You can choose between low, medium, high and ultra. While you're doing all of this, you might have to restart Battlefield 5 for a few times in order to get access to all of these options. The idea is that the reflections from water puddles, windows or vehicles or any other surfaces can help you with spotting enemies, since your peripheral vision is limited. Imagine yourself on a battlefield. You're waiting for an enemy to show up, but he is crouching and he went to a side that you didn't see on your screen directly. But since there are surfaces that reflect your enemy, you can now use this extra information that wasn't available before to react quickly and to kill your opponent. Can something like this happen? Yes, of course. Did it happen to me yet during the time that I used RTX? No, absolutely not. The technology is still under development, so it is still far from perfect. There are fire sources that will reflect very nicely on your weapon, but there are also sources of fire that don't reflect at all. Just to give an example of how inconsistent things are right now. You can see the muzzle flash of your primary weapon being reflected off a vehicle, but you cannot see the muzzle flash of your handgun. So for now, we cannot completely rely on the ray tracing technology just yet. The nicest implementation of this new technology can be seen on Rotterdam around the Bravo flag. Here you can see all kinds of reflections, and to be honest, it looks pretty impressive. The biggest downside is the performance drop, but also the inconsistency of the performance. You will even notice big differences in FPS when you play on different maps. Sure, this will always happen, but without ray tracing, this performance difference is much smaller. I experienced the worst performance on Rotterdam because this is where this technology has been implemented the most. On the other hand, on Hamada, your average FPS will be much higher because there isn't much here to reflect the explosions and so on. I will probably make a performance guide for RTX on and off, so I'll go into greater detail regarding the performance in that video. For now, just to give you an idea of what will happen, your performance is going to be cut in half, or even worse, you might only get up to 1/3 of the frames that you would normally get. As you can imagine, ray tracing comes with a few bugs. On Aras there is a major issue with the cornfields, and on Rotterdam you can sometimes see the game trying to reflect a fire source that just isn't there like you see here. Ray tracing definitely has a place in the future, and what we're seeing now is only the tip of the iceberg. We all know that it's way too early to make a final statement about ray tracing, but at this moment, turning it off is certainly the best thing that you can do, because the improved reflections just aren't worth the FPS drop. I only noticed the ray tracing technology when I was not trying to kill somebody. When I'm in a fight, I have absolutely no clue if RTX is on or not. What I did notice is that I was only playing with 60 frames per second or lower, and I also noticed the performance drops, so definitely turn it off. Just for info guys, I recently started streaming Battlefield 5, so you're more than welcome to join me live on Twitch so that you can see some of the ray tracing in action when I do a dedicated ray tracing stream. In the meantime, if you think that this video is worthy, would you mind leaving a like and maybe even subscribe if you want to know more about Battlefield 5. This was Fog of Gaming, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the battlefield.